I didn't know what a victory garden was until I joined a gardening group, and then I found out. So in this video, we're going to talk about what is a victory garden and why would you want to start one yourself. Let's go. What's going on, my plant people? I am the ADHD gardener where I use gardening, houseplants, and humor as a form of mental health therapy, and we're going to be talking about victory gardens. During World War II, they had to send a lot of food, resources, supplies over with the soldiers overseas. So meanwhile, while everything was being sent overseas, we had to make sure in our own food security. So what the United States started to do and promote was victory gardens. And that was when they took their food shortage problem into their own hands. They wanted to prevent food shortages. They wanted to know that their community, that their family had food just in case something was to go down or they needed to keep sending supplies all the way overseas. The American people wanted to make sure that there was not going to be a food shortage in the United States. So what they did was they started promoting victory gardens. And that is where you take gardening into your own hands and garden everywhere. The front lawns, the sidewalks, the parks, the backyards, containers, anywhere where there was dirt, they gardened. They wanted to make sure that there was no food insecurity at all. They didn't want to worry, so the best way to combat worrying and anxiety about wondering where your food is going to come from, you grow your own. And that is what victory gardening is all about. These past 2 months have been a little crazy, and you've seen the food shortages happen in the supermarkets. Now, what if that was to happen continuously? We're not even in summer yet, and you know what? This is what's going on. What about the fall? What about the winter time? Why would you, as a person, as an individual, why would you want to start a victory garden? First is, why not? The second one is, what if there was a food shortage? What if? Food security will happen if you start growing your own food. And we should start growing food now. Why wait? We have the time, don't we? We have the time now, don't we? I don't want to be in that predicament where the fall, winter time comes, food production is a little slowed down, everything is a jacked up mess. I don't want to be there. I don't want to worry about us. What are we going to eat? I just don't want to worry about it. So Jack, how do I start this victory garden? Well, I'm glad you asked. Scout the areas around where you live. Does your house or your apartment give you space, a little ample space to grow something? Maybe you don't have a lawn. You live in an apartment. Do you have access to containers? Because you can do a lot of this through container gardening. In the future, I will be getting into a lot more container gardening because my neighbor, my family is doing it also. So I'm going to show you how to do that outdoors as well. But it's the same concept. I wonder if growing your own food would be considered an act of rebellion, because there was this dude called Henry Kissinger. Now, he used to work in the Nixon era, and he made a serious quote that people sleep on all the time, but I don't want you guys to sleep on this because, dude, he said it. He's from the government. He was working in the government, bro. And if he said that, what makes you think other people are not thinking about that? The man said, and I'm paraphrasing because my memory sucks, Kissinger said, if you control the food, you control the people. If you control the food, you control the people. What the heck? If you think about it, it's true. If you rely on the government to hand you some food, you're relying on the government. They're providing food for you, which means you have to wait on their time. You have to wait for them when they're good and ready to give you something. What? What kind of reliance is that? What if they don't have anything to give you? Then what happens? Then what happens? I'm not beat to find out. Now, mind you, this was from the 70s, but what makes you think people don't think about it now? People want control. People want power. Now, for control and power, they have something hanging over other people in order to control them. Why not control them through food? This is where the revival is all about. I mean, I don't want you to spiral down a rabbit hole when you're thinking about all these things. But at the same time, this growing your own food reduces your anxiety because you know that you won't be in a food shortage. You know that your food is secure, that your family's food is secure, and that's all that we want. I'm not saying that we're going to be going to war or we're in the midst of a war right now, but things ain't going so smooth right now in the United States now, is it? And I'm not trying to find out how bad it's going to get. I don't want to wait, and I don't think you should wait either. Start now. Find some seeds. Find some dirt. Get in contact with gardening groups. Get in contact with your friends or your family or people that love to garden. Share that knowledge, bounce ideas off of each other. You never know. Starting now is better than not starting at all. And I really want you to really take a good look at your situation and ask yourself, is a victory garden for me? You may not realize it, but maybe it is. And maybe it's gonna be good for all of us to get really back into the dirt and get growing our own food. I really hope you liked this video and it got you thinking, is a victory garden for me or not? But why not? Why wouldn't it be good for you? This is gonna be a great start to your independence. This is gonna be a great start to your freedom of food. If you like this video, I really appreciate it if you smash that like button. It really helps me out. See, just hit it, go boop, just like that. If you want to see more content like this on gardening, houseplants, and humor as a form of mental health therapy, and maybe a bunch of victory gardening too while you're at it, then consider subscribing and hit that notification bell. I drop a video every week and then some in between. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Facebook daily though. I share a lot of memes, a lot of funny stuff, and a bunch of side projects also. I love chilling with you guys, and I really want you to consider a victory garden, and would a victory garden be right for you? And on that note, peace and love until the next episode. Much love.